The Nightside Project. Finish the day happy with Ethan Millard and Alex Keary on KSL News Radio.
This is The Nightside Project. I'm Ethan Millard here with Alex Keary. Thanks so much for grabbing this episode. Listen, if you haven't had a chance to watch these video episodes, if you've only been listening to them, well, you're only getting half the story. So right there in your phone where you download the podcast, you could also just watch the video version. It's got a little TV next to it. You just watch it on your phone. Or you can also pull up the KSL app on Roku and any of the other set-top boxes that you might be using, Amazon Fire, stuff like that. So you can watch them there as well.
That's what we have, Ethan, the Amazon Fire
to help
and the
you,
Roku.
To help you finish your commute happy, we've got a great Zen headline coming up about a police emergency in New York City. There's more to it. I'll tell you all about it. But first, Alex, you know, you and I have a kind of a philosophy when it comes to parenting and especially motherhood, and that is to give moms space, right?
Yes.
Moms don't need other people weighing in. They just need space to do their thing. But I'm going to show you a photo that wound up being super controversial. This mom posted this photo
Well, let's take
to
a look
Facebook.
here.
You ready?
What do you got?
All right, check this out. Now, here it is, an amazingly beautiful little baby, just probably, a couple months old maybe. She's wearing a headband. She doesn't have a lot of hair yet. Big pink headband.
I'd say she's probably around the 6-month range.
She's got big, beautiful cheeks. She's got a huge smile on her face. And
what have we here
she's
on
got
the
this
cheek?
huge dimple, and right in that huge dimple is a diamond stud.
So the baby got her cheek, she got her cheek pierced?
Here's what the mom wrote. It's so cute, right? I know she's going to love it. She'll thank me when she gets older. If she decides she doesn't like it, she can just take it out. No big deal. And in defense, she says, I'm the parent. She's my child. Now, this photograph actually triggered a significant amount of outrage, including threats on her life, threats to call.
Threats on the baby's life?
No, threats on the mother's
How
life.
dare that
the
baby.
mother's Enedina Vance.
People,
Threats on her life, threats to call child services. All kinds of terrible things are being said about her online. What do you think, though, when you see that photo? Like setting aside our natural inclination to just kind of let moms do their thing. Setting that aside, what do you think about this?
So, well, I'm taking that into account. Are we doing Judge Keary on this?
But just put on your judgment cap. You're not Judge Keary, but did she make the right move?
So Judge Keary,
sure,
but just like it. You know what? Do it. Fire it up. Let's make it official. Is this your first time? Okay, here I am. Now I put my pants on.
Let's say this is brought to you and you are Judge Keary, Family Court.
Okay, Judge Keary, Family Court. Now this
is brought to you as an example of what not to do with your child.
Too many times.
I'm not going to say it's child abuse
Here's
necessarily,
the thing.
But
when babies get their ears pierced at like 6 weeks old, I'm always like, and I think that moms, and they straight up, they'll go and they will get the little ear piercing gun, thing done at like the mall or whatever. And it's the only problem I have is there's no real functionality to what she just did.
Okay.
And there's no functionality to an 8-week-old getting their ears pierced either.
So you would say this was a mistake?
I have been when they have to take blood from the child's heel at the 2-week appointment, and I've done it 5 times now.
Yeah.
I have to walk out.
You can't be there for it.
I can't be there for the pain that this kid has to go through. Well, now, this child is 100% just smiling, all very, very, it's a beautiful child.
Yeah.
I think that when you have made a kid go through something like this, and it's true, you could take it out and there would basically be really no evidence of it. The hole would seal up very quickly. It doesn't seem very functional because this is a child who's learning to eat right now.
She'd have a scar on her cheek.
I don't know if there'd be a scar, but I will say that this is a child who's a
little dot.
This is a child who's learning to eat right now.
People who let their ears heal, they have little dots.
It's
forever.
True, but
she'd have that on her cheek.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but I can say
make a verdict. I want to play the gong here.
Yeah, I'm being too wishy-washy on this. This is stupid of the mom. It is really stupid.
Are you ready for the twist?
Because the baby has cancer?
No.
I thought you were going to go that route.
Not that kind of twist.
Sorry. I'm so glad she does not have cancer. It's just that the type of hat she was wearing, I thought maybe there was
Oh, jeez.
Well, I thought that'd be the only excuse to go. We're trying to.
No, that's not a twist. That's not a twist. That's a tragedy.
The twist is the mom was blind and was trying to give her the earring.
No. The twist is this photo is Photoshopped. The baby does not have an actual diamond stud.
Good.
The mother was trying to make a point. She's trying to make a point about piercing a child's ears. But more specifically, she's part of a larger group of advocates for not tampering with babies at all when they're born. And specifically,
circumcision.
She promotes this organization. I wanted to show you this website.
Non-circumcision.
Bloodstainedmen.org. She's a big-time anti-circumcision activist. And so I guess her husband is too. I would think that they'd be together on that. Like, it would be something they would do together. It would be weird for her to be passionate about it, her husband to be, like, ambivalent, but maybe that's the case.
Look, the thing is...
But look at what these guys are doing. This is a protest out in front of the White House, out in front of the U.S. Capitol building. And these men are wearing white
signs.
Jumpsuits with red
blood around the crotch,
kind of spray painted on the crotch.
Why are we? I'm gonna look at Josh right now and go, "Is this the low? Is this the low you've hit?"
No, but it's not the low.
No,
I don't think it's the low because
I think it's an interesting discussion. But
because this lady I thought brought it up in an interesting way. Why would you put that stud in your child's cheek right there on her face?
Right.
Now, circumcision is it's different in a lot of ways, but you could just transfer over and ask, well, why did you do that?
Mm-hmm.
Now, in our family, I was circumcised, so were my sons, but it was never like a conversation about it. It was like the doctor was all, so we doing this? Yeah, I guess.
And they do the thing now where they go, and I've got four boys, and the thing that aside from, there used to be more formal religious implications from it.
Yeah, nowadays.
Now
you kind of have this.
Not really there. It's more of a, in the long run, there's going to be a functionality when it comes to cleanliness. And hygiene and stuff.
But even that is kind of even
that's
that
what
is
people are debunking now.
Yeah,
and look,
that's right. Even that is not really much of an argument for me. What it came down to was, well, that's what I did. So that's what my sons are doing, which isn't any better of an argument, really, except that, well, I want to do what's familiar to me.
What about the guy holding up the sign that says infant circumcision is a sex crime?
Well, obviously that's overstating it. Because it's not. But
because then I look at it and suddenly my children are all sex crime victims.
No, obviously
they're all
they're
victims
not.
of sex abuse, sexual abuse or a sex crime.
Obviously not, but some people compare it to the terrible genital mutilation that we see
over
in
Africa
and in the Middle East. Some people compare it to that, which I don't think you really can in terms of long-term effect. But I don't know. You got to wonder, well, if it really is not necessary anymore, is it worth carrying on with it, even though we seem to have largely gotten away with it as far as we can tell?
Gotten away with it. That's a terrible way of putting it. But I do think that I look at it and I look at them very differently. You can't just say, oh, it's like putting a decorative stud in the cheek of on somebody's face as a child. It's very different. And for people to go, well, the so-and-so medical association, look, if the medical view on it was we are absolutely, there is a massive health risk that is associated with it, you wouldn't have my pediatrician showing up and who, by the way, is one of the smartest and is like on top of big time the newest and latest and the studies and all these things, and he is like, circumcision is fine for the infant and I think that it is. He says it's. For him, it's something that he thinks is necessary, or not necessary, but it is. It's definitely
fine to do.
It's fine to do, and this is a guy who would never put my kid at risk.
No,
but if I said I'm thinking about putting a stud in his cheek, he would be like, "Hey, man."
Well, but see, that's
plus a medical
pretty
professional.
Far outside
a medical professional performs the procedure, and
well, that's pretty far outside the norm. A stud in the cheek of a tiny infant—that's pretty far outside the norm. I mean, even sometimes. You notice little babies that have their ears pierced because even that's outside the norm. Usually girls are more in the 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old range when they start getting their ears pierced.
This got dark. this got dark real quick. The pictures of these guys in front of the White House, in front of the Capitol. I mean,
Yeah, with the blood.
ugh.
It's just interesting to see how some people feel so passionately about something that we just kind of brush past.
I get it, man. You're trying to punk me. You're trying to be like, your logic is garbage.
I'm not trying to punk you because I did the same exact thing. I did the same exact thing with my sons. My dad did the same thing with me and my brothers. I just thought it was interesting the way that she brought it up.
Yeah.
And maybe it was unfair for her to put it that way. But
I don't think it's unfair. But
kind of makes you think.
But I immediately thought, when you said it was done as a, I knew this was going to go this direction. Then why do we do this to the young?
I know. I just wonder, in the next 10, 15, 20 years when my kids are having kids, you just wonder what the perspective is going to be then. If my sons will feel as ambivalent towards it as I was, or I don't know. When we come back, it's a great Zen headline. We'll tell you about a police action in New York City with a pretty bizarre but cool ending. That's when we return.